I'm Charlie Bright of Gold Derby, and I am here hosting this television cinematographers panel, and I am joined by Michael Fimognari from Midnight Mass, Antonio Calvache from Queen Sugar, Andrij Parekh for Scenes from a Marriage, Boris Mojsovski from Titans, and David Moxness from The Wheel of Time. The first question I'm going to ask, I'm going to throw it to you, Michael, and then the rest of you just jump in whenever. I wanted to know what were, some of what were the scenes that made you first become interested in becoming a cinematographer?
Oh, wow. I think that, I think it was some of John Bailey's work in The Accidental Tourist struck me first, and it was the way that light came through lace curtains on a window and laid on the bed, and I just noticed how the space made me feel about the character and the world. And that simple, I don't even think there was an actor in the shot. It's one of the first few shots of the film. And it just struck me. And I still think about shots like that, and that shot in particular, as how quickly and beautifully you can inform a world just with the way light comes into a room.
Anyone else want to jump in there?
It's 2001 Space Odyssey for me. When I saw that, it was like a young kid, and I was just like, wow, I'd never seen anything like that before. I thought it was just so far ahead of its time and so unique that I was like, yeah, how do you do that? Yeah, no, I that was a really engaging film that really piqued my interest early on.
Was it the film itself? Does the film as a whole, or is there like a specific part of it that really stood out for you?
I just thought the visuals throughout that were just astounding. Just the interiors of the spaceship and the lensing that was used. I don't know. It just seemed so unique to me at the time that it's really stuck with me for sure, 100%. So grabbed Dad's Super 8 camera and started at it.
Nice. For me, it was Last Tango in Paris because I for the first time I saw, I was a kid, so a kid should not watch that movie, but in Bosnia, that was okay. But I remember how it's so essentially, I know now how essentially cinematic it is to change the atmosphere by like moving a curtain and closing it or opening it, and the space is now a completely different space when she does that and opens those curtains, and Marlon Brando is sitting in the corner. That moment, I start thinking about scenes or episodes. It always goes to that moment. And another thing, that my dad was a cinematographer. I would sit on set and I learned how if I sit in this corner, the world looked differently than if I sit in this other corner. And that's kind of an exercise that we do all the time during blocking, right? Like we kind of move ourselves so we're facing the windows and all those things. And I didn't know any of that, but it kind of I was slowly learning and still learning it to this day.
I should say another one influenced by Vittorio Storaro. I don't know one specific scene, but I think it was the first time I became sensitive to the effect that camera and lighting had on me, that it tricked the curiosity about who is behind that. And I followed his work through different movies, Last Time in Paris, Conformista, 1900, Novecento. All those things were just where I realized, wow, the power of camera and lighting.
Andrij?
Probably I became conscious of cinematography when I saw The Black Stallion at age 8. It's Caleb Deschanel, and I think it's still, I think, one of the most beautiful movies ever photographed. With its available light, and its sensitivity to actors, performance, and animals.
The next one I want to throw to you, Boris. I want to throw the next one to you. What do you feel is the most important lesson that you've learned in your career as a director of photography?
Oh, wow. That's a hard one. Well, I think what I've learned, what I struggle with all the time now, and I'm learning it, and it's becoming one of those things that I don't really understand, but I realize that contrary to, like, a lot of people say, and rightfully so, that they will, read a script and then adjust what they do to that script. And of course, we all do that. But I find that the more I do, the more I realize that I do the same things, just that, but they're adjusted to that. So, but I actually do repeat the same things, same patterns that are in me. My palette is the same, but I might add a little more blue or whatever it is. And now I'm more and more realizing that I cannot escape that I try sometimes to say, this film is going to be shot only with practicals. I will not bring another light. And then I don't actually end up, I can't, not a single shot is shot like that. And when Andrij said that, I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. I used to be able to do that. I can't do that anymore because I approach it that way. By the time we start shooting, there's rags and all of that. And I cannot escape myself. I try to do it in a way where, it is adjusted to the story, but it's still like 80% similar to what I always do. So I don't know if I learned that, or that might be a failure, but there you go.
Anyone else?
I don't know.
So next one, I want to throw this to you, David. What do you feel was the biggest challenge to actually becoming a working cinematographer in the industry?
In a weird way, I think myself, to be quite honest. I definitely wanted to do it, but I had a family at quite a young age, and so it became largely about paying the rent for a long period of time. And I was very successful as a gaffer for a good number of years, and working with cinematographers and movies that I really enjoyed, and learned so much from every one of those cinematographers that it wasn't that I was, scared or afraid to become a cinematographer full time. It was just about, I think it's easy to get the first job, and then it's the second and third job after that that's more difficult. And I think I just didn't want to take the chance that it would become harder for my family, so to speak. I was very selfish, I guess, working as a working gaffer. And then I got an opportunity, and the time seemed right, and started shooting, and that led to one thing and another. And fortunately, it carried on. It's very, very, very fortunate.
Anyone else want to jump on that? Yes, Antonio.
To me, the biggest challenge, the breaking point for me, was to find my voice, because learning cinematography and putting it in practice, it's hard. It's a big challenge. But I find that when I realized what my voice was, who I was as a cinematographer, I was able to tackle the challenges with confidence, and people will respect my work and call me to do the job. To me, that was the challenge I had to tackle, is stop trying to be somebody else, stop copying what other cinematographers I admire were doing, and finding my own voice and accepting this is who I want to be. And that gave me so much confidence and a philosophy, a path to how to approach the different movies, the different projects. And I think in that respect, AFI and the American Film Institute helped me a lot. Being put in a context where you are working with many other cinematographers and seeing what other people are doing and how I feel about their work and what makes my work different or special. That was a big deal for me. Going to AFI helped me a lot to become a cinematographer, getting to where I am.
And next one, I actually want to throw to you, Andrij. What part of the process of being the director of photography on a project do you enjoy the most?
I think I love all of it. You know, I love prep. I love going to museum with directors and looking at paintings and talking about color. I love getting up at 4:30 in the morning and watching the sunrise. You know, love seeing when it's finished and mixed and colored. I don't know. I think it's all just an amazing experience. I think we're so fortunate, and I think we have the best jobs in the world.
Anyone else want to talk about their favorite part of it? Yeah, Antonio.
To me, it used to be dailies. Looking at dailies was my favorite time. It was what made me want to continue being a cinematographer, no matter how hard the job was. And nowadays, it's not so much dailies, it's to see the magic happening at the monitor. It's lighting. To me, it's lighting. It's just working on the lighting and see the lighting realizing on a frame, see everything coming together in the monitor while we're shooting. Now the dailies are real time.
Yeah, I admit I miss going to the lab to screen the dailies on the screen back in the day of film. But I love storytelling and working with crews. And this last project shooting in Europe has been fantastic to work with an international crew. And I just sort of experience people. I mean, essentially, I really realized what we do in the language, the process is the same everywhere. And I think it's so amazing that we can get a group of people together, all different backgrounds and aspects of life, and just combine together to tell a story. It's just phenomenal.
All right, well, everyone, thank you so much for taking part in this panel. Michael, Antonio, Andrij, Boris, and David. Thank you so much for joining us in this panel, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
cheers.
you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.